Kembe Mutombo up front, Allen Iverson, Eric Snow at guard for the 76ers, Antoine Walker, Eric Williams, Tony Battie, the front court for Boston with Paul Pierce and Kenny Anderson. And right now, the third member of our team, here's Heather Cox. Heather.
Dick, the big question for the Sixers continues to involve the answer. After missing 14 games, Allen Iverson did return to action in Game 1. He had 20 points, but he did not make a field goal in the final 3 quarters of the game. Iverson did practice in Philadelphia on Monday and Tuesday. However, he sat the majority of the day here in Boston on Wednesday with what he calls cold-like symptoms. He did take advantage of the downtime, receiving 2 hours of treatment on that broken knuckle, and he told me the injured hand limited his ability in Game 1 to get in the passing lanes, and he was tentative offensively. Look for less catch and shoot and more driving to the basket tonight. And Dick, he assured me there is no doubt he will be ready to go. We'll see an entirely new and improved Allen Iverson tonight.
Well, here is responded. Remember, he came back with a 45-point effort after a slow start a year ago, so he does have the ability to step up and meet the challenge. The officials tonight, Jack Nees, Bob Delaney, and Ron Oleksiak. Philadelphia winning the season series 3-1. Boston winning Game 1 on Sunday.
Tonight, remember that you have extreme. Philadelphia 29th in three-point attempts and three-point makes. At the opposite end, the Celtics are #1. They attempt 24 threes a game. They make 9. It's kind of a contrast. Both teams excellent at the defensive end of the floor.
And the Sixers know if they win here, they take away the home court advantage that the Celtics earned by their seeding. And the tip between Battie and Mutombo controlled by the 76ers.
Tonight, Dick, I'm looking for Philadelphia to work inside. Mutombo and Coleman have got to come up big in this game.
And here is Eric Snow, Battie with the block. And the shot, an air ball put up by Mutombo with 4 on the shot clock. And in any event, the Sixers lose it out of bounds to the Celtics.
Now, Battie is the only shot blocker for the Celtics. You must attack the rim. You've got to go power, and you cannot settle for jump shots.
Walker to Williams. Williams starts, but will give way. Pierce will take the long shot, and off the rim, the rebound by Allen Iverson, who already looks energized. And Iverson with his first shot of the game off the mark. Larry Brown says, I don't care how many shots he takes as long as they're good ones.
Well, I think every coach feels that way, and also the other guys on the floor would feel that way.
Kenny Anderson's reverse layup out of bounds. Last touch by Philadelphia.
And watching the Celtics, they love to run a lot of screen and spot ups. Plus, in Antoine Walker, he attempts 8 threes a game, and also Paul Pierce attempts 6. That is a ton.
Anderson has it blocked by Mutombo, and here's a 2-on-1 behind the back to Harpring, and that's the Sixer brand of ball we saw last year.
Well, last year you'd always see 3 guys out in the open floor. Main thing tonight, they need to be inspired with Coleman and Mutombo dominating in the paint.
Snow is guarding Eric Williams, giving up some inches, and here is Walker over to Williams, gets Coleman in the air, and a pretty play by Eric Williams.
Excellent ball fakes by Eric Williams. You know that he does not want the jump shot. He wants to take you off the drive and slash to the basket.
Allen Iverson, who had 15 first-quarter points and did not make a field goal after that, and the crowd silenced by Derek Coleman's jumper.
But they were fronting Mutombo and also playing behind him. So any kind of ball movement to the reverse the ball, you're going to get the open shot.
Coleman defending against Antoine Walker. 3 men on him for the moment, but a great spin move by Antoine Walker, who had 20 points despite a poor shooting night on Sunday.
That's a tough matchup for Coleman, mainly because Coleman has a bad left knee, and he needs to rest with the days off. And then in Walker, you have a guy who can play inside and outside.
Coleman missing 21 games with that hyperextended knee, and when they play back-to-backs, he couldn't play, but with the days off, he's all right. Here's Williams again, and forced to change his shot with Mutombo lurking underneath.
Always remember when you're watching this game, both teams get after you in position defense. They challenge every release.
And Mutombo, and they fake the double team, leaving Eric Snow open, and he missed the open jumper.
That will be there, Dick. Coming out of the weak side, the strong side post to the top of the key. That shot will be there all night.
And Eric Williams hitting from the corner, so he has 4 points, had 8 in game number 1, and the Celtics lead by a pair.
Well, you have to love what the Celtics are doing. They ended the season strong, 18 wins and 7 losses, and they just continued it in game 1. They are for real at both ends of the floor.
And they've beaten the good teams on top of that.
Absolutely.
3 on the shot clock. Mutombo with the hook shot. No factor on either end of the floor in game 1. And Mutombo breaks into the scoring column.
The big fella can do it. The big fella, if he gets his catches, can shoot a high percentage. The big thing is, do not go away from the basket on the hook. Step in and do the power hook, because Petit cannot play it.
And Iverson had Anderson beat him off the dribble, but the ball goes off the rim out of bounds. And with 8 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the 76ers feeling each other out with the Celtics tied at 6.
Well, the Celtics coaching staff very happy with Kenny Anderson. He's bulked himself up. He's in better shape, back into camp. Much better, stronger, and a better defender.
That was Matt Harpring, who established a playoff career high 18 in game 1 here.
Well, Matt Harpring has been a godsend. He's played excellent, consistent basketball for Philly this year.
2 new forwards, Coleman and Harpring, for the 76ers. Both can shoot and rebound. Walker working his way in, and Mutombo grabs the rebound.
You have 2 very good offensive rebounding teams, so it's paramount that you take care of the defensive play.
Iverson misses from long range. He's 0 for 3, and when we said Larry Brown doesn't mind if he shoots, he does take a lot of shots, the most in the league. And here is Pierce with his first effort, and it's off the hand of Mutombo, so the Celtics will retain possession.
Now, this is a frantic pace. This is how the Celtics want to play. Philadelphia would rather it be more under control and that they take a little bit more time in their half-court sets.
Although Philadelphia did average 99 points in winning 3 out of 4 from the Celtics in the regular year. Plenty of time, 15 on the shot clock. And here is Pierce finding Walker open for 3, and he's on the mark. There is Walker, who was 2 for 4 in game 1 from long range.
Anytime that you attempt 8 a game for the entire season, you know your coaching staff has great faith in you, and he also shoots a solid percentage.
And very often the Celtics live and die by the threes. And talking about the trio, there's Coleman coming back with a 3-point basket, and then for taunting, a technical foul, I believe, called against Derek Coleman.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Delaney had that. He had both guys. See, Walker started it when he made his 3.
We know Coleman got one.
Now, when we came down at the other end of the floor, you can see, Coleman has made the 3. He's now backing up, and he's right in Walker's face. A lot of trash talking going on. Delaney was right on top of the ball, and they are not going to allow it in the game.
So it was Coleman and Walker, and double technical foul has been called on both of those players.
Well, this is a key matchup, no doubt about it. Walker got the best of it in game 1, but Coleman is capable. Coleman, throughout his career, he can get you 20 on any night, shoot a high percentage, either in the low post or facing the basket.
And what's significant about the technicals, especially for Walker, who's one of the stars, 1 more, and he is out of the game. So right now, the score 11-9 Philadelphia. We want to welcome those watching tonight in Canada on TSN. 6.5 to play in this opening quarter. Here is Pierce, guarded by Harpring, off balance.
Tough shot.
And the Sixers trying to push it up.
Yeah, Harpring played that well.
Iverson getting the foul. So Iverson, obviously, as Heather talked early at the top, trying to penetrate. He has taken some long-range shots, but trying to drive as well, and the foul committed by Eric Williams.
Now, in game 1, Iverson gets to the foul line 15 times. We know during the season, he'll get there at least 9 a night. You know he's fearless. He'll take the body punishment. And right now, with that padding on top of that broken knuckle, you know that he's trying to refrain from getting hit in that area. In the first half of game 1, he went to the line 11 times.
1 out of 2 for Iverson, and the 76ers splitting their last 14 games, 7-7 without him. And a defensive 3-second violation, which also means a technical free throw has been called against Tony Battie of the Celtics. Larry Brown, who yesterday nominated once again for basketball's Hall of Fame as a coach, and he got his hopes up high, he said, last year, and he's not going to do that this time around. But you know, Larry Brown, sooner or later, is going
in. You're talking about a guy who coached 30 years, had great records in the ABA as well as the NBA, and then he won the NCAA championship with the University of Kansas, got to the Final Four with UCLA. Now, his resume is very impressive.
Eric Williams hitting a 3 from the corner, so the Celtics, Walker and Williams, have 2 threes thus far, and the Celtics regain the lead by 1.
Well, see, you're getting a bonus here. Philadelphia will give Eric Williams that shot. He shoots 37% during the season. Now, they can only cover so much ground here when they're trying to protect against Pearson and Walker. That will be there.
Shot clock running down, and Snow forces a jumper from outside. He saw the clock running down. Wide open is Walker, picked up by Snow, and getting a piece of it was Mutombo, I believe, and Philadelphia playing tight defense early on. And a good position down low for Mutombo, who cannot connect on the hook.
Yeah, you'd like to have had a better catch there. And also, you would like to see him regroup. And also, a drop step with one dribble would get him so much closer to the rim.
Down low, Williams, and Eric Snow causing the turnover.
Great play.
Great defensive play by Snow. 2-on-1. Iverson going in, foul by Paul Pierce.
Now, Paul Pierce is really challenging Jackie Neese. This was just a great play. All started with the deflection by Eric Snow. And then Derek Coleman diving for the ball and starting the break. Good defense by Paul Pierce.
And a furious first quarter.
Known only to the king of beers. By the AT&T Ultimate Fan Zone on NBA.com. You can get NBA gear just by talking on the phone. By IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Circuit City. Circuit City, we're with you.
Here at the Fleet Center, the Celtics leading by 1 point. And let's measure Allen Iverson's first quarter thus far, Hubie.
Well, he's off to a shaky start, Dick. But it isn't through lack of effort. You can see he's drawing 2 guys on every shot release. Oh, he's on the front of the rim right now. But what I liked about him in the open floor is he gave up the pass off to Harpering to give the 1 basket. And then in this one, he gets to the foul line for 2 foul shot attempts.
But he does have 3 assists, so he is contributing, as you mentioned, in the other way. And Paul Pierce also off to the slow start, 0 for 3 from the field as well.
Well, in Iverson's case, you know he averages 27 shot attempts during the season. We know that he's first in scoring, first in steals, and first in minutes played. So even if he gets off, it doesn't matter because he's truly the captain of the all-street team. Because once he gets rolling, look out.
Well, the Sixers, as you know, reached the NBA Finals, losing to the Lakers last year. And being behind, nothing new to them. They trailed Indiana 1 game in the first round and came back and won. They were down 2-1 in Toronto, came back, won that series. They were down 2-1 in Milwaukee and came back then. So they know how to come from behind. And Iverson making 1 out of 2. So the Celtics bringing in Walter McCarty and Rodney Rogers from their bench. And traveling called before the shot by Walker.
Right now, the Celtics are very big. They're playing Pierce and Anderson in the backcourt, and up front you have Rodney Rogers, McGrady, and Walker. It's an interesting matchup here. McCarty will be on Harpering, and you have Paul Pierce on Eric Snow. They're doing that for defensive rebounding.
And Snow directing traffic out there, picked up by Walker, and a Boston foul away from the ball. And the crowd unhappy with that call. Score tied with 4:20 to go, and Rodney Rogers, who came over with Tony Delk at the trading deadline from Phoenix, picks up the foul.
Well, this is a veteran crew. They've been in many a playoff game. The referees are catching everything on the weak side of the floor, so you better adjust.
Iverson, guarded by Anderson, pulls up and gets the basket and the foul. Kenny Anderson, and what do they say about fouling a jump shooter? And Iverson will go to the line.
Well, Iverson, we know, the energy bunny, he is not going to stop shooting. The offense is built around him. He's the primary option in 90% of what they do. Now, the thing tonight is, Allen is a night in and night out, an 81% foul shooter, and has been throughout his career. He's solid. But he's off tonight. He's missed 2. And there's his 3rd miss.
He made his first field goal, but missed his 3rd free throw, as you point out. But Philadelphia leading Boston by 2 as we wind down. 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. And here is Pierce coming off the screen. Paul Pierce with his first field goal tonight.
Twice tonight, Pierce has come off a screen and spot up. And both times his defender went under the screen. He stops immediately and shoots over the screen.
Crowd booing Iverson every time he touches the ball. What a surprise. Mutombo with a hook shot. And it finally is taken away by Corey Blunt, who has entered the game. And here is Mutombo working in, and a charging foul called against Mutombo as he banged into Pierce.
And Larry Brown very upset right now. You know, he's all over the referees. But in that time, Mutombo used the ball. He puts the ball on his fake right into the chest of Paul Pierce. Just watch this now. See, he hit him right in the chest with the ball. Now, sure, you can say, hey, that was a flop. Sure, it was a flop. But you know that you had the call going your way.
This crowd very much into this game, knowing the nuances as they did in the Boston Garden and now at the Fleet Center, especially when the Sixers and Celtics duel. And here is a long 3 by McCarty, picking up where he left off with his big effort in game 1 with 14 points.
Well, you gotta love it. I mean, come on now. The guy sat out 21 games and didn't get into the games, okay? And then he missed games because of injury. But he's a 39% three-point shooter, so you've got to defend him on the perimeter.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Larry Brown wants to talk it over. The Celtics leading 18-15. And we'll be right back to the Fleet Center in just a moment.
Copy of USA Today every day.
We'd like to give you Paul Pierce at his best. Here he is with the basketball. Here comes the screen. Now, as he dribbles over the top, the man playing the screener is playing soft. Harpering is going under. Well, you can't do that with Pierce, because what he will do is he'll just stop and shoot, and Harpering is at his mercy. Now, that has happened already on 3 plays. What you do not want to have happen is that he comes off of that high screen and then he starts making the 3-point shot.
Here's Jim O'Brien, who took over the Celtics, who were 10 games under 500 from Rick Pitino in January last year. Finished at 500, 24-24. 50 years old, native Philadelphian, who played his college basketball at St. Joseph's in Philadelphia. And the jumper by Aaron McKie, and that's what the Sixers are looking for. A little more aggressive play from McKie, so valuable in so many ways.
Well, 2 guys are trying to get back condition-wise. Aaron McKie as well as Iverson. They really don't have their legs like they had before their last injury.
Pierce hitting a 3. So Paul Pierce now with 6 points. And 4 threes already for the Celtics, who are picking up where they left off, where they had 18 more points from beyond the arc than the Sixers did on Sunday. Philadelphia with Corey Blunt in the game, and McKie, Snow, Iverson, and Mutombo. And here is Aaron McKie, and Iverson trying to find the range. Now 1 for 6 from the field.
You like their ball movement, though. As long as they reverse the ball, Dick, they reverse the ball, they'll get open shots.
And they're finally going to call a 20-second timeout, the Celtics. Pierce was under siege, and could he keep the ball away from 3 Sixers? He did by calling the 20-second timeout.
Well, you have 2 teams tonight defensively who force a lot of turnovers. Plus, they steal the ball 10 times or more, which they both did on Sunday. So the key being here, you have to be alert. And when you make your move to split the defense, you better be under control.
Coming up next on TNT, Game 2 between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers trying to make it 2-0. Friday on TNT, Game 3 between the Nets and Pacers, all even as the team shifts to Conseco Fieldhouse. And then Saturday on TNT, Toronto will be the scene for Game 3 between the Pistons and the Raptors, as the Raptors look to stay alive against Detroit, looking good. Friday and Saturday coverage begins with a pregame show at 8 p.m. on TNT. Eric Strickland into the game for the Boston Celtics. Strickland, a physical guard and one of the players that has to get the job done against Allen Iverson.
Well, Jimmy O'Brien will use 3 guys. Coming off the bench, he'll use Strickland and Delp. So you know that they're going right after Iverson, and they're not worried about foul.
And Corey Blunt just takes the ball away on the block from Walker, and getting it right back is Pierce or Rogers for the Celtics. Walker for 3, and he's got it. So the Celtics are making the effective three-point shot work for them. They're 5 for 7, and they lead by 7.
Told you that's the signature of this team. When you attempt 24 and make 9, it is a major part of the art. Some nights they make 12 to 15.
Pass to Mutombo, he couldn't handle. He's having problems catching the ball.
You got to get the easy ones, Dick.
Right. Nearly a minute remaining in the first. And here is Strickland missing the 3, and the crowd expects them to make every one of them.
Why not?
And why not?
The crowd is so revved up.
They are.
The building is bouncing.
And the runner by Allen Iverson, his second basket of the game. He has 6 points, cutting the Boston lead to 5. Under a minute to go. I tell you, the feeling of this arena reminds me not only of Boston Philly games, but NBA Finals that I remember in the 80s. And Pierce going in is fouled and will go to the line to shoot.
Once again, Pierce turns the corner on a screen and roll or a screen and spot up. Now, right now, Philly's going to have to do something about this because he's turning the corner. The defensive man on the screener is giving no help. He's stepping back. Consequently, Pierce can turn the corner or turn the corner, step back, and take the jump shot.
Dikembe Mutombo will leave the game with his second personal foul, and Derek Coleman will replace him. So the Sixers front court now as Coleman, along with Blunt, Iverson, McKee, and Speedy Claxton. So they're going with a 3-guard small man attack right now with the chain.
Main thing to watch now with Rodney Rogers in the game with McCarty. They have 2 big guys who can shoot the 3s.
And Pierce with 8 points in the game. Pierce and Walker have 8 apiece. They're getting the job done. Iverson leads Philly with 6. Barely a half a minute to go. Iverson pulling up, and he hits his second in a row and has 8.
Now he has turned on the afterburners, Dick, on both sides of the floor in his last 2 possessions. He is looking to blow by people and stop on a dime.
But will he get a basket in the second half? Probably will. Here's Strickland working his way through, had it deflected. Iverson knocked the ball away. And now the last shot, you're right, with single digits on the game clock. Aaron McKee with 4 against the bigger Rogers in trouble. And Rogers knocks it out of bounds with only 1 second remaining.
Main thing for the defensive team, the Boston Celtics, watch out for a lob. You do not want to get your man beat you on the back door to the front of the rim.
1 second, and as we know, you can go the length of the court in one. And McKee, Coleman, back to McKee, no. Too many passes.
Absolutely. 1 second. Come on, we had 2 bad. That was a slow.
It's over. The Boston Celtics have won it, and they go crazy at Boston Garden.
And in 1981, the Celtics beat the Houston Rockets, but in that series, Hubie, and I think it was the best one I ever saw at the cover, they were down 3 games to 1. They won Game 5 by 2 points, Game 6 by 2 points, and then the 7th game by 1.
You had some very talented people participating in that series. It's like a who's
Yes,
doing what's
it-
what.
Definitely Hall of Fame, top 50, all time.
50,
you
right.
name it. And inside, Eric Williams held by Aaron McKee. Larry Brown's team shooting 45%. The Celtics just a tad better at 47.
I'm kind of surprised how close the game is being called tonight. They are not allowing any banging down inside, and then also the weak side coverage where they're negating all kinds of mugging.
Blunt guarding Walker, the repost to Antoine Walker, and the fall away. Blunt doing a good job on it.
And also, how about the little guy rebounding? That's the one part of Iverson's game. He averages 5 boards a game for a 6'1" backcourt man.
Yes. Speedy Claxton taking a 3 and in and out. Battie the rebound. So it's Eric Williams, Tony Battie, Kenny Anderson, along with Walker and McCarty for Boston.
Philly must start to work through Coleman. I mean, you've got to give Coleman some time down on the box with some key catches because he can get it done for you.
Walker driving against Blunt and makes a good move baseline, and the Philadelphia foul.
Well, he's so talented. At 6'9", he's not only a great three-point shooter, he handles the ball extremely well. He can play with his back to the basket, and he really is an intelligent player. He can make the pass.
Anderson defended by Claxton. Iverson is guarding McCarty.
See, they're running this to death.
Anderson didn't quite have control as he was driving in, but grabs the ball away from Blunt. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Great hustle by Kenny Anderson.
This is just a great move by Kenny Anderson, and you get a foul by Blunt. Just watch as he falls asleep. Anderson comes in with right at 2 steals a game, and he's ranked right here in the NBA, so you have to be careful. He's having a terrific year stealing the basketball.
9th in the league. And in contrast to his career, a lot more emphasis on the defensive end. Eric Williams fighting his way in. The ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Celtics. High scorers for Boston. Walker and Pierce have 8. Williams with 7, so he's their 3rd scorer. Iverson 8 tops Philadelphia.
Well, they continue to go at Aaron McKee anytime that he's at that small forward position matched up.
And here is Allen Iverson with a 3. So Iverson, after a slow 1-for-6 start, is heating up, as you point out. 11 points now.
Now, he's on fire, but you got to get the inside game going also. Then it makes it easy for everyone.
And Iverson was forced to defend McCarty inside, and they found him.
Well, they found him. That's what you like. They saw the mismatch, made the pass, and then Speedy Claxton came from the top of the circle to knock that ball out of bounds.
Good help defense by Philadelphia. Here is Battie from the corner, and the Celtics up by 4.
All the big men for the Celtics are so dangerous facing the basket because they primarily are not box players playing with their back to the basket. They want to face and shoot the jumper.
Off the screen, Iverson. Anderson staying with him. Iverson quickly going around. Good ball movement by Philadelphia, but Coleman misses the open shot.
Yeah, see, I don't want him out there. Yeah, I know he can make that shot. You'd rather see Coleman down inside.
Battie going back to Antoine Walker against McKee. He knew he had the size advantage. Walker with 10.
You're absolutely right, Dick. He read that situation beautifully.
Three minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Heather Cox with you. Game 2 from the Fleet Center in Boston. Speedy Claxton, who did not play in his first year because of a torn ACL, a rookie technically now.
It's not a mirage. Walt McCarty at 6'10" is playing Speedy Claxton. And that is by design. Sometimes he has Eric Snow. They're using that because they feel that the long arms will disrupt the playmakers. Plus, they'll be able to rotate back and help on the weak side defensive rebound.
Walker going into the double team, stolen by Claxton. And here is Iverson, and Allen Iverson lays it in. 13 points for Iverson, who has hit his last 4 from the field, including the 3.
tell you, Claxton and Allen Iverson are causing a lot of deflections, and they're reading the open floor beautifully.
76ers down, trailing by 2 points, and Batiste claiming that he was pushed by Blunt, but it'll go the other way.
I tell you, refs are right on top of everything tonight. No front court roughhousing. They're right on the play.
Goal of his, and it's just been awesome.
Now, Antoine told me that he calls you almost every day. What kind of advice do you give him over the phone?
I just tell him to stay focused and go out there and play hard every day.
All right, Diane, thanks so much. And guys, Diane doesn't fly, so she actually took a 14-hour ride in a limo from Chicago. I guess the John Madden cruiser was busy.
Not for rent on this particular occasion, Heather. Allen Iverson out of the game right now, has scored 13 points. Replaced by Eric Snow, so they still have McKee, Snow, and Claxton as Blunt takes the shot and misses, and there's Derek Coleman still going on.
Yeah, well, Derek Coleman was posted up right down in the lane. I was surprised that Blunt took that jump shot.
Paul Pierce re-enters the game for the Celtics. He has 8 points. Walker and Pierce combined for 18 of the Celtics' 30 points. Leading by 2, and Snow ties up Pierce and fouls him.
Yeah, see, that's frustration. He had the shot clock down. Pierce is milking it. He has no place to go. And then Snow gambles to go for the steal on the shot.
Well, this Saturday on NBC, it's an NBA playoff tripleheader. All game 3s, the Charlotte Hornets against the Orlando Magic, all even. Game 3 between the Sacramento Kings and the Utah Jazz, all even. And game 3 between the San Antonio Spurs and the Seattle Sonics, 1-1. Coverage begins at noon Eastern on NBC.
All throughout the season, Pierce has been a primetime scorer in the league, no doubt about it. But he gets to the line 8 times during the regular year, and now it will be up in double figures. He's a stud, and he's really tough to defend.
Boston by 3. Claxton into the corner, and Snow recovered nicely after mishandling the pass.
That has been there. That's by design. Philly drives the ball into the middle of the floor, and when the defense converges, they're looking for the corners.
Now, the Sixers know that they have Walker and Pierce to stop, and Eric Williams, who has emerged so far as the 3rd scorer that the Celtics need. Here is Walker working his way in, tipped up and in by Pierce. He has 11.
Pierce is all over the place. He not only at 6'6" is he a force with the outside game, and then he can post up, but you must keep him off the boards. In game 1, he comes in with 11 rebounds.
Sixers have to find some offense other than Allen Iverson, who's out of the game with his 13. Coleman would be a candidate, and he is fouled. But after Iverson's 13, Hubie, Coleman has 5 next in the scoring.
When Coleman catches the ball, either on the box or in the lane, you must double team this guy. He's 6'10", he's left-handed, he has a great touch, he can play the glass, and he's a proven scorer.
Foul was called against Kenny Anderson, his 2nd. And Coleman, with his 2nd stint in a Philadelphia uniform, averaged 12 rebounds against the Celtics this year. And reaching in, and Eric Williams against McKee.
You better have a dribbling game.
Yes.
I mean, you cannot be careless tonight. At one end or the other. Because they are right in there defensively. They're constantly gambling. You run a reverse spin, they bring a guy from the weak side. Both teams, Philly and the Celtics. They're constantly looking for the deflection.
I was going to say you'd be no foul, but a defensive 3-second call. And Aaron McKee making the free throw line. You got to remember, this is not the same Philadelphia cast that got to the finals. They have only 5 players on their roster who were in the playoffs for them a year ago.
Well, the way to look at it, you know, McCullough is at New Jersey, Hill is at Cleveland with Jermaine Jones, Lynch is in Charlotte, Ollie's in Indy, and then Buford's in Memphis, and then Geiger retired. That's 7 guys that were in your rotation that played.
There is the speedy Claxton and Eric Snow. He was one of the 5, and the shot was Did they get it off before the shot? Yes, they did
got
a
a foul. Yeah, they had the foul. First, the people are all upset because they thought that the second shot came after the time clock. But the foul is blown early, and you got to see it.
It's on Pierce.
Yeah, it's right in here, okay? And that was a nice move. He tried to recover that, and then you can see Coleman going for the tap.
An unfortunate foul for the Celtics because that is the second on Pierce. With 6:01 remaining in the second quarter, still plenty of time as Dikembe Mutombo re-enters the game. Mutombo picked up 2 fouls early on, had 2 points. And Walter McCarty will come in replacing Pierce. So Pierce, with 11 points to lead the Celtics, goes out of the game.
Eric Snow, 2 for 12. A rarity, really. Usually he shoots such a solid percentage. What I like about his game tonight is the fact that he is doing everything from the foul line down, and he's attacking the rim. He's making things happen either for himself or someone else.
And they're going to need his scoring the way the Sixers is set up, especially with Iverson just getting back after being out a month with that broken hand. And Snow hit 52% against the Celtics in the regular season. So he shot well against them. Tied at 33, under 6 to go in the second quarter. Rodney Rogers with Walker, McCarty, Eric Strickland, and Walker getting the layup, and Eric Williams as well. 12 for Walker.
Well, that was a very nice move. He's so difficult to defend, Dick, because he has the spin moves, he can hook, and then also he can finger roll right in your face.
So Walker and Pierce. Pierce on the bench has 23 of the Celtics' 35. And here is Claxton blocking it off the rim, and it's put by Coleman, and all of a sudden everyone's on the floor.
Well, this is where Philly must take advantage of the Celtics, and that is on the offensive glass, getting second shot attempts. It must come sometime in this game.
Walker guarded by Coleman. Not going for the fake is Coleman, and Walker off balance and gets the basket. Can't blame Coleman on that one.
No, I mean, Coleman played him as well as he can. And then you get the bounce. See, that's a shooter's bounce because it's a soft shot.
And a timeout called by Philadelphia. And with that coach, Jim O'Brien, 50 years old and a great job, who was at Kentucky as assistant to Rick Pitino, earned the players' respect in many ways. Last February, Antoine Walker's grandmother passed away in Chicago. Jim O'Brien, not asked to go, went to the funeral. It was a surprise to Antoine Walker. So that was a way he earned respect of his team. And he has made it happen here in Boston. 24 and 24, taking over last year, missing the playoffs, and then the team winning 49 games, the best record since the 91-92.
Well, they've done an excellent job here. And they have a offensive style built around threes. The coach can live with it. And then defensively, we told you, 25th in the league in ranking in defense a year ago. This year, 5. That's not bad.
Not at all. McKee missing the layup, and now Strickland up court with nearly 4.5 to play in the opening half. Celtics leading by 2, trying to keep that home court edge, and to do it, they have to win again tonight to make it 2-0. Rogers looking down low for Eric Williams.
They'll go right at McKee.
Rogers for 3. Off the mark, but normally that's his range.
Rogers is an outstanding three-point shooter. He shot a high percentage with every team that he's played on.
Allen Iverson back in the game. Sixers held their own. 7-7 was the score with him out of there, and a scooping attempt inside by Eric Snow, and out of bounds, last touch by Philadelphia.
Now that was a difficult shot by Snow, but the rebound came right on. Mutombo misplayed that rebound. That should have been a basket. On the last trip down the floor, Eric McKee misses a driving layup. Now you say, well, you're getting all upset. No, I'm not getting upset. The score's 37-35. You're a Philly coach. You know that you have got to take advantage of every single easy opportunity in the paint.
Here's Eric Strickland. And Mutombo the rebound. In case you're wondering, after halftime of Sunday's game, the 76ers trailed the Celtics by 6. Here's Iverson. Iverson gets Strickland in the air and puts it up. Iverson leading the Sixers with 13 points. Going behind. Rogers passed up The open shot knocked away by McKee.
Oh.
And Strickland finds Walker. Eric Strickland with a no-look laser.
You love it. As Strickland was open and could have taken a shot. The extra pass. Beautiful diagonal read by Strickland.
So Antoine Walker with 16 points. And remember, Paul Pierce is on the bench nursing 2 fouls. And a kick ball. And under 3 minutes remaining, and a timeout called by Boston. Iverson.
Have athletic people who can shoot the passing lane. They not only challenge the dribbler, but they challenge the passing lanes anytime you make a pass over 12 to 15 feet. They're right there.
And Harpring in for the 76ers. Iverson running over to Walker, trying to pick his pocket. Here's Strickland getting around. Here's McCarty for 3. Coleman with a rebound and a 3-on-2.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and they're going to call the blocking foul. Allen Iverson blocked by Strickland.
I think that was almost a great defensive play. But Strickland, because of Iverson is so quick, as he makes the hesitation and then blows to his right, he just catches Strickland. See, he caught him. He almost got there. Excellent call by Ronald Luciano.
And Jim O'Brien, of course, from the other end, questioning in his mind that call, and they'll take it out of bounds. Harpring will toss it in.
Well, you always have to defend your players, especially when the guy is working so hard. When you draw Iverson, you've got to work.
So Strickland, the physical guard, knocked out of bounds, and the Celtics couldn't keep it in. But T and Strickland lost control. So again, now we're looking at Strickland's turn on Allen Iverson.
I like what we're seeing tonight at the defensive end by Celtics. They're holding a powerful offensive rebounding team under control.
And I don't know whether they thought they could do that.
Yes, you're right there.
20 on the shot clock. Nearly 2 minutes to go. And Walker reaching in, but Philadelphia gets it back. Snow given the shot, instead goes into Mutombo with the hook shot. It's not working for him tonight.
Well, you know, the main thing is he's open. I mean, they're not difficult shots, and you have to believe in the guy.
Walker, they believe in him in Boston. Antoine Walker with 18 points, 10 here in the second quarter, and the Celtics are up by 6. Brown really revved up as Iverson dims it a bit with his running baseline jumper. He's got 15.
Now that was a difficult shot because he had to go up over the top of a rotating defender. He was sandwiched, and he still made it look easy.
4-point lead. Battie! Tony Battie. He's come up with 4 points, and any scoring from him is a bonus, UB.
Dick, Philly's got to do something about the screen and rolls and the screen and spot up because it's really hurting them in this half.
Crowd chanting defense, and Iverson with a tough shot against Strickland over the top, and it will go over to the Celtics, who are trying to build the lead with less than a minute before intermission.
Celtics are doing a great job in funneling, banning the man to that right corner baseline or left corner baseline. They are not allowing them to get into the middle of the floor.
Here's Eric Williams feeding Battie, and Battie is fouled. Want to remind you now that coming up on the AT&T halftime report, Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley, and Magic Johnson. They're all in our Atlanta studio to preview Game 2 between the Blazers and the Lakers. Dikembe Mutombo picks up his 3rd personal foul. Once again, Hubie, he's not been a factor in this game as he wasn't in Game 1.
In the last 6 minutes, Boston is starting to get into the paint now. So Philly is bringing the defender from the opposite side of the lane. And then the Celtics are running well without the ball. And the man with the basketball is finding the guy going to the front of the rim.
Corey Blunt will replace Dikembe Mutombo, who goes out of the game with 3 fouls and 1 for 5 shooting in the game. And Battie on the line for another. Antoine Walker had scored the last 8 Celtic points before Battie went to the free throw line. And the Celtics have opened up their biggest lead of the game, 8, with about 40 seconds to go in the half. So they got a bigger lead right now than they did at halftime of game 1. Broke it open in the second half on a loose ball, and Snow recovers. Here's Snow driving determinedly inside and is fouled.
Every time that Coleman is posting up now, they are fronting him and playing a man behind him. Well, if you come to make the pass to the top of the circle or to the foul line, then you know that they have to rotate. And when they rotate, Coleman is then open. But you are not getting a look from the wing into the post player. It's not a clear pass.
Tony Battie committing his second foul. Right now, let's take a look at which played on TNT.
This summer, New York's toughest car is back. Which played. All new episodes, all new beginning. Coming this June to TNT.
Eric Snow misfired on his burst. And right now, Philadelphia 6 for 10 from the line. They missed 10 free throws Sunday in game 1, but did go to the line 36 times, as you pointed out. About 4.5 seconds differential between the shot clocks. 7-point Celtic lead. Strickland has been a terrific passer in this half. And Eric Williams hitting a 3. That's his second of the game.
Oh, that's just great basketball. You beat your man off the dribble, get in the paint. The guy from the corner comes to help, and it opens the man up.
And the tip is going to count with 0.8 of a second. And it's 48-40, and that will do it at the end of the first half. And Derek Coleman with start of the third quarter. Pierce, who had limited time because of 2 fouls, misses the first shot of the quarter, and Coleman getting the rebound. And you remember it was in the third quarter that the 76ers scored only 11 points and were outscored by 8, so they've got to come out strong here to stay in there, and Iverson gets them off on the right foot. He has 17 in the game.
That was a beautifully designed play, a lot of movement, a nice screen, a back screen to open up Iverson going into that left corner.
And a foul called against Philadelphia as we send it over to Heather Cox.
Well, Dick, I talked to Larry Brown at the half, who said he was frustrated by the offense. He'd like to see more patience, better ball reversal, and at least 3 passes before looking for the shot so that they can create some gaps on defense and force that Celtic D to lose his shape. Also, Coach said they need to establish a presence inside. He said he got 21 shots from his guards, and he said many of them weren't good. Look for Mutombo in the second half.
Heather, it sounds like a tape replay from game number 1 when he said you got to reverse the ball and you got to get inside, and he was really embarrassed that they lost the battle in the paint. Pierce fouled, will shoot 2.
Well, they have to solve the post-up people, whether it's Mutombo or Coleman, because the Celtics are fronting and playing behind, which is legal this season. So they have 2 men on the post guy, and he cannot receive the pass. But once you make that pass to his man flashing up to the foul line, it opens him up in the lane in a one-on-one.
Loose ball, and Pierce comes up with it after missing his second free throw. That last foul on Derek Coleman, and out of bounds was Pierce, and he is called for the offensive foul. That's 3 on Paul Pierce, so that's a blow to the Boston Celtics. Here's Pierce coming back fresh here in the second half, picks up his 3rd quickly.
Well, he knew he was out of control. He knew that he caused the foul. Jackie Neese was right on top of it, and give Harper a lot of credit. Took the charge.
Mutombo going back out to Snow, and they go back in, double team on Mutombo. 9 on the shot clock. Snow working inside against Pierce. Does not put up much, but they better hurry, and Harpering from the baseline. Rebound by Tony Battie.
If I throw it into Mutombo throws it back to me, and I go back on the dribble. I'm taking all the defense right back into Mutombo.
3 was missed, and Harpering made a good play on a pass inside.
An advantage here. Someone's wide open.
They look sluggish a bit. Mutombo going up and is fouled, but the 76ers look sluggish, not taking advantage, and they're not beating the Celtics to the punch.
Yeah, good point, good point. Mutombo right now, see, he's got to be strong in there. He can't be weak. Now, in the first half, we brought out a number of times where the ball would hit off his hand out of bounds, or he'd drop the ball on a catch when he had a man pinned. Now, that was a situation that you've got to get a two-handed dunk and a foul, so you have a potential three-point situation.
You know, it's interesting going back to game one. Not one Sixer managed more than 2 baskets in the entire second half. You want to talk about scoring drought, not getting support.
Yeah, but, you know, we say this all the time. Different game, different personality, different referees, different situations, guys in foul trouble, matchups change. All right, so
they'll get more. They'll get more than
sure.
that.
But what you're looking for is you're looking for Coleman and Mutombo, and you and I have been looking all game, and we haven't seen it yet.
We're looking everywhere. We're looking under the desk. We're looking for a needle in a haystack.
That's right.
Can't find it. Kenny Anderson can't find the rim. It's off the glass. Walker claimed it his last touch by Coleman. Remember, another technical, and he's out of the game.
Very astute observation.
Well, I remember the double T early, and Walker picked it up. He was one of them. So if he gets overzealous, Celtics, who already have Pierce in foul trouble, he's still in the lineup for 3. And Allen Iverson coolly and calmly hits another one. He has 2 baskets here in the third and 19 in the game.
Let me just say this. That was a very hard thing. He shot that. We were right on line to that rim. I don't know how he got it up and open guy.
Pierce being shadowed by Harpring. Losing the ball is Pierce. Here comes a 2-on-0. And Iverson with 21 points. Well, already the Sixers have a guy with more than 2 field goals in the second half. And that causes Jim O'Brien to call a timeout. Time now for tonight's edition of Armor All Wipe Spectacular Finish.
He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it over to Sancho. Havlicek stole the ball. It's all over. It's all over. Johnny Havlicek is being mobbed by the fans.
Havlicek stole the ball on the microphone of Johnny Most, the late, great radio broadcaster for the Boston Celtics, who was as part of the fabric as the parquet floor, Red Auerbach and his cigar and everything else that had to do with the Celtics. You know, Hubie, in that game, Wilt Chamberlain, the losing center, scored 32 points and had 30 rebounds.
You know, some games you know where you were exactly. I was on my couch watching that game, and I was stunned. What a play by Havlicek. A great read, a very difficult loss.
Did you get off your couch?
Oh, yeah, it was a great play.
Kenny Anderson with a laser, his first field goal of the game after missing 5.
On the first half, Philly got away with only 4 turnovers. Main thing now, just keep good possession, get good looks at the basket. You've made your surge, and you're right back into this.
At Harpring, going into the double team to Mutombo. And here is Snow after a fake. The 76ers not getting any rhythm going with their offense.
Well, Snow is a 15 to 17-foot shooter.
Here's Anderson again, 2 in a row.
Oh, he can do it.
He's found the mark.
Well, you know, early in his career, he scored a ton of points when he was in New Jersey. And you have to play him with a shot. And once again, Philly soft on that screen. And the guy is turning the corner.
Iverson passing to Harpring. T got a piece of it. And here is Walker leaving it for Pierce. Not high enough. And now in the break, 2-on-1. And the pass to Coleman, who makes sure that exclamation point. Derek Coleman now with 11.
I was shocked that Antoine Walker threw his Showtime lob for a dunk. Pierce had absolutely no chance to put that in because of the traffic. There was too many people in the area.
Kenny Anderson with another. He has 6 in a row. Kenny Anderson, if it goes scoreless in the first half, has 6 straight points on 3 field goals, and the Celtics up by 5.
I think he's going right at Iverson. So, you know, what they're saying, they talked about it at halftime. All of this is by design.
Pierce continues to play with 3 personal fouls. Iverson finds Snow way off. Coleman trying to clean up with it. Grab out to Harpring, and it counts. Harpring got it off in time, and it's a 2 52-55 game, Boston leading.
Excellent pass by Derek Coleman. Beat the clock, but a terrific look.
There's Tony Battie. Has he done the job off the bench? 8 points for Battie tonight. Role players getting it done. Eric Williams with 10. Battie has 8. They always look for the third scorer after Pierce and Walker. Walker has 18, Pierce has 12. Here is Iverson. Coleman is there. Coleman has had a good shooting game. Needs more shots. Snow back to Harper. Open. Good look. But Battie gathers the rebound.
They're getting good looks at the basket, and they're also getting on the glass, getting the extra shot.
Crowd always in anticipation because of the Celtics' penchant for being effective from threes as they were on Pierce and his attempt. Gambling was Pierce. Coleman making the pass to Snow.
Said at halftime, Snow in the tumble. If they can just shoot a solid percentage in the second half, it will help Iverson and Coleman, because Coleman is having a good game, and Coleman has been terrific in this third quarter on the offensive boards, keeping the ball alive.
Well, the Sixers are staying in town. They're hanging in there, and the three attempt by Walker, he'll get his own rebound.
Iverson was right there, and he took off the other end, and that opened up, and you pay your price. When you release and you do not stay with that shooter, you pay a price.
And Antoine Walker has matched his game-1 total. Our second, you know, the 76ers came from Syracuse. They were known as the Syracuse Nationals, and the original Philadelphia Warriors moved out to the Bay Area, known as the Golden State Warriors. Crowd on its feet, liking what they're seeing from the Celtics, who would like to put the 76ers in an 0-2 hole in this series.
You have to be impressed with the Celtics. Every time that Philly makes a surge and you think they're going to take command, Boston will make a nice quick spurt, regroup, take the lead.
Speedy Claxton enters the game. So it's McKee, Iverson, Claxton, Mutombo, and Corey Blunt. And here is McKee. And the fight for the loose ball, and good hustle by Blunt. Iverson double team. And Blunt trying to get it in, but it's knocked away, and it's last touched by the Celtics with 17 on the shot clock and 5 minutes remaining third quarter. Coleman on the bench. He has 11 points tonight on 5 for 6 shooting. Here's Iverson. And Mutombo tips it through.
Well, it's nice to see him come alive here right now. Jimmy O'Brien, a little upset, thought that there was goaltending, but that ball was definitely coming off. Terrific anticipation there by Mutombo.
Good timing.
Yes, indeed.
So it's down to 3 again, and here's Walker defended by Blunt, and Walker going up to the basket, changing hands, 22. This is a sterling game for Walker and his mom, leading the applause.
Oh, you love it, Dick, because he's showing you he finishes with the right hand, but then again, the ace with his game is he can finish with that left hand.
And Diane would like to be treated to more spectacular plays by Walker as Eric Strickland gets the rebound on Iverson. Misfire. McCarty with Walker, Strickland, Rodney Rogers, and Paul Pierce, who loses the ball. 3-on-2 for Philadelphia. Claxton off balance, and the Sixers missed a great opportunity.
And there was no call down there. That had to be something. And that's what Larry Brown is yelling. It had to be something.
Right.
Either a block or a charge.
And the field goal by McCarty. Larry Brown is incensed. You're right, it should have been one way or another.
Big swing right there, because if you get the foul, you make the 2 foul shots, all of a sudden you're close. Here's what you got to get Iverson to do. He's got to stay away from the threes for right now and get down inside off the dribble, because he's blowing by everybody all night.
Here's Aaron McKee. Tough shot because he had McCarty in his face.
Well, see, the corners have been open. They've been open all night. They're going to call that foul. But that's okay. That's a good foul. That's a good foul by Claxton, because Walker was going to continue and go all the way. Right now, they should take the ball on the side. Now, this is just a great way. And right there, Claxton, you know, he cut off some. There was a defensive player in front. Smart play. Good foul. Right now, Dick, in this quarter, if you notice, the majority of the Philly shots are coming from the corner, the right corner and the left corner. They're getting great looks. The problem is all of the shots are between 20 and 24 feet. And that's the problem. The ball is not going in the basket, but they're getting great looks.
The lead is 7. Walker gets one in the air. And here's Pierce missing from 3, but on the other side, Walter McCarty, who really averaging 4 points a game, as you said, did not play. Coach's decision 21 times, a factor in both games.
Oh, yeah. Game 1, 30 minutes, 14 points.
Pierce looking for the foul. Rogers crashed the board, but it comes down to Mutombo with 2:42 to go in the third quarter. So the Celtics leading by 7, and the Sixers hanging in there. And the baseline shot again from the corner.
Yeah, once again, they do that back screen for Iverson. He's open. Good call. That was a very good call. Rogers, no, it was Strickland. Strickland took that charge. That's the second tough charge that he has taken right into his chest tonight by a big guy. Keep an eye on this and watch him get to that spot. You got to give him a lot of credit because these big people are barreling down the lane, and he's taking it right on his number.
And Antoine Walker getting a rest and getting the cheers from the fans. He has scored 22 points tonight on 2 threes to lead the Celtics. Pierce with 12 points has been logged jammed by 3 personal fouls. Tony Battie replaces Walker, and Kenny Anderson checking into the game as well.
This is the first time we've seen Philly come down the floor and put a little pressure on Anderson or Strickland or Delk.
We have not seen Tony Delk in this game. Anderson, high arcing shot, and grabs the ball away from Iverson, and then Battie loses it. So they exchange turnovers. Here is Allen Iverson. Mutombo saves that one. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Against Battie, Mutombo blocked by Rodney Rogers.
Right, see, his body was behind the board, so he had to bring the ball out, and he exposed it right in the face of the defender.
Here's double teamed on the drive. And the foul. The 76ers will be in the penalty, and Paul Pierce will go to the free throw line. And the Celtics leading by 7. Their biggest lead was 10.
Keep an eye as Mutombo gets pushed behind the board here. Now he's got to bring it out. Anytime you're behind the board and you bring it right into the face of the defenders, it's an easy block.
Coming up next on TNT, Game 2 between the Portland Trail Blazers and the LA Lakers. Hubie, your thoughts on that game?
Oh, come on, we're talking excellent execution by both teams. Portland had difficulty with shooting just average shooting percentages for Wallace and Wells. These two guys, if they can just shoot a higher percentage, and then once again, the Lakers do an excellent job of Kobe and Shaq. And then the question mark, Horry, they were all worried. How many minutes? 30 minutes he gave them.
He got hurt in our game with Sacramento to end the season. Pierce,
good play. Give it up.
Speedy Claxton was speedy to knock the ball away and disrupt the Celtics, but they still maintain possession.
What a great defensive play by Speedy Claxton.
Here's Anderson, crossover dribble. Crowd would have raised the roof here at Street Center had that gone down.
You know, we have everything going here. Yes, we're having defense. It's having great passes. Everything except the ball is not going in the basket.
Well, we've got the 76ers and the Celtics, and they're putting on a show tonight. Feed inside, the combo from Iverson, and it is now a 7-point game once again. Boston is
once Iverson gets in the painted area and gets down in the lane, Mutombo's man, all the big people are coming at him. Then the big people, Mutombo, Coleman, Blount, just create a passing lane. Penny looking good.
Boy, he is. And the basket that time by Anderson, who has 8 points. 9-point lead. seconds remaining, 17 on the shot clock. Speedy Claxton driving the baseline, and here is McKee for 3, and he's got it, a big one, to cut the Celtic lead to 6.
Now, we've been harping about that. It's been there all night. First quarter, second quarter, and especially this quarter. Just get it in the paint. You can hit the roll guys on the boxes, or you can kick the ball to the corner and get an open shot.
7 seconds difference in the shot clock. Rogers. And it'll go over to the 76ers, who can play for the last shot of the quarter. 16 and a half seconds remaining, down by 6 points as Eric Strickland will come into the game. Eric Snow as Mutombo goes out, and Philadelphia was down by 14 after 3 quarters in game number 1, and they're down 6 right now.
Well, Jimmy O'Brien taking Pierce out so he does not pick up another foul.
Good.
Right now, Larry Brown went small, so you got a matchup here. Let's see what happens. Plenty of time here.
The physical Strickland on Iverson.
Good defense. Good defense.
Iverson really walks. Snow loses it. And here is McCarty.
You got time.
Plenty of time. McCarty.
Great play. Great play.
Where has this man been all year?
Oh, I'm telling you, that was a beautiful play.
And here is Speedy Claxton. Again, they're missing a lot of open shots tonight.
Right on it, Dick. They've had all kinds of shots at that 15 to 17-foot area.
Turnover. Claxton causes it, and Iverson fouled and gets the basket. Kenny Anderson would like that one back.
Yeah, you know, when you're going to foul a guy in that situation, you cannot allow him to get his arms up above his shoulders. Because if he does, and he's strong in the body, he'll get it up off the glass. Once again, so you always got to be aware of Philly shooting the gaps. See, that was a hard foul, no doubt about it. But see, he was able to get the ball up above his shoulders. Then if it hits the board and it's soft, you got a chance for a three-point play.
Iverson had missed his previous 5 shots. And the free throw doesn't go. And it's 6-point Boston lead now.
That doesn't happen often. And we have seen Iverson tonight miss 4 foul shots. And he's an 81% shooter. And he shoots over 80 every year.
Nearly another Celtic turnover. Kenny Anderson and Rogers, this time inside the 3-point line. And here's Anderson with a scoop shot. Anderson now with 10 points all in the second half.
Kenny Anderson is playing a very heady game. Because right now with Iverson out there with Snow and McKee, now offensive.
They called it on Blunt.
Yeah,
Corey Blunt.
He shot.
Hugging Pierce, I believe.
Right now, Philly is definitely stepping up the defense. They are right up there, putting the pressure, and they're gambling. They're gambling for the steals.
Derek Coleman into the lineup, and they're going to need his offense as well. Here's Walker.
Yeah, Walker's been quiet here in the second half.
And playing cat and mouse with his defender Blunt. And now the 76ers down by 8 points. Opening minutes, Iverson, and this is what he does. He'll take a lot of shots. Team is used to that. When they were out, they had a lot more balance when Iverson was sideline. And here is Pierce trying to get a foul or something with that heave that is last touched by the 76ers, so the Celtics stay.
He was looking for contact. Now, did he get hit? Yes, he did. There was contact, no doubt about it. But it was such a wild and unbelievable shot. You know, I was kind of surprised because usually when Pierce gets down in there, he's always under control on his release.
Let's check in with Heather Cox.
Dick, Matt Harpring, who had a playoff career-high 18 points in Game 1, has been on the bench the majority of the second half. He admitted to me at halftime he's being slowed by a sprained thumb that he suffered on Tuesday in practice. It shows in the amount he's looking for a shot. So far, just 6 attempts after 18 on Sunday.
That really hurts them, Heather, because they need all the offense they can get, and Harpring would be one area. Steal by Pierce.
A hard pass caused a turnover.
Walker trying to go inside, and blocked by Mutombo. Walker wanted the foul, blocked by Mutombo. Iverson is fouled, and Rogers coming from behind. The bigger Rogers fouling Allen Iverson.
Jimmy O'Brien can't believe it. He's just said to Bob Delaney, what about at the other end? What about the other end? Now, we just had 2 situations. One, you know, right here with Walker. Now you see that ball, smart. Walker let it drop to the floor. And then right there, great block by Mutombo. But the play before that, you know, where his main man goes down inside, and by that, you know, we mean Paul Pierce, and doesn't get a call. He's kind of shocked, because back-to-back, his two big scorers do not get the call. And Iverson, it seemed like an early whistle on the drive to the rim.
Notice Iverson is 25 shots tonight. You said 27 during the regular year.
Oh, we know that. We know that in games like this, he'll end up with 30. And Larry Brown, you know, they all live with this. The main thing is, Larry just keeps saying, as long as they're good shots, we can live with them.
Iverson trying to avoid fouling Kenny Anderson. It does. 8 on the shot clock. 2.5 gone by in the fourth quarter, and Anderson forces it. And into the hands of the Sixers, trying to make a run here. Down by 6.
It's open.
And here is McKee. Touches the 3. And the 76ers silence what has been an exuberant Fleet Center crowd tonight.
Larry likes this team. He likes playing McKee at small forward, and that's another reason why Harpring is not getting a minute. Harpring's coming in. He's at the scorer's table right now. See, that was just a silly foul. What we just had right here was no reason to foul a guy 30 feet from the basket, nowhere in, you know, an area where he is going to shoot the basketball.
Dikembe Mutombo, with his 4th personal foul, has scored 8 points. Again, has yet to emerge as the Sixers would expect. And Allen Iverson will sit down. Iverson has scored 25 points tonight.
Larry Brown right now going with Harpring and Mutombo up front. And then they have Snow and McKee in the backcourt. We got Coleman, Mutombo, and Harpring up front.
Double team on Pierce. Off the hands of Walker, and a timeout. Plenty of... Well, you want to talk about one of the early magicians with a basketball.
Absolutely.
Bob Cousy was it. 10 on the shot clock. McKee. And now McKee gets Williams in the air and is fouled. Williams fouling McKee. And talk about another great Celtic from the early days when Red Auerbach had the dynasty. Tom Heinsohn, who is the color analyst on the local Celtic broadcast. Bill Russell was around in game number 1. Pretty heady group they had in the 50s.
Oh, come on. I mean, all you have to do is go to the Hall of Fame. They are all in the Hall of Fame.
And a lot of the players in the 80s in the Hall of Fame as well. Eric Williams will sit down. Walter McCarty replaces him. So a chance now for McKee to bring the 76ers to within 1 point of the lead. And he does. So Philadelphia really putting the pressure on with Iverson sitting out right now. He has scored 25. Crowd sitting on its hands right now. They need something to get them going again.
It's nervous time right now. We know that it's going to be very physical.
Walker. And the rebound by Harpring. Celtics not getting the real good shots lately.
The thing that you're looking for right now, we said the Philly defense, boy, they came out accelerated in this quarter. There's no doubt about it.
Here's Harpring. Jam thumb and all. This is the shot. Strickland the rebound.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. He had an open shot, but by going in and then hesitating in the air, he had to change his release.
And here is Pierce missing from 3. Rebound Coleman. By the way,
look up.
Walker and Pierce are 0 for 6 combined here in the quarter. And a layup by Aaron McKee. And the 76ers have taken a 72-71 lead. And it has been a while since they were up. It was early in the game at 12-9 last time they were in front.
They are pushing the ball, and it's happening for them, Dick. Aaron McKee is playing big right now, attacking the rim off the dribble.
And again, Pierce trying to scoop it up, and Philadelphia going. And McKee, who's been a big spark during this Philadelphia surge, getting the ball back, posting up against Eric Strickland. And the foul, and the basket's out. Aaron McKee gets the basket and the foul. And all of a sudden, Philadelphia leading by 3 and a chance to stretch their lead.
Philly wearing out the right side of the floor in transition. Aaron McKee is not only executing with the jump shots, but now he's going down inside. This is a continuation move that you get in the NBA. A beautiful spin move. Aaron McKie stepping it up and playing very big in this corner.
And an elated bench of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Aaron McKie with 7:11 remaining, 15 points, 5 for 8 shooting. And he has become aggressive tonight and has scored the last 10 Philadelphia points.
Well, Larry Brown was concerned about his conditioning, came back, played only a couple of games, and then in game 1, sure, he had 11 points, but Aaron McKie in the big games, you're looking for a little more.
Under 7 minutes remaining. Regulation.
This guy right here, Paul Pierce, has been quiet, and so has Walker in this quarter, Dick.
They have not hit a basket, either one of them, in this fourth quarter.
That's right, and they cannot get... Nice pass!
Coleman a little low, trying to maintain possession. And finally, they said he loses it out of bounds.
The idea was great. The idea was great. And you hit it right on the head, Dick. The pass was too low for Coleman. Coleman was busting. He was walking.
Inspired this craziness.
Last summer, I was lying in a hospital bed. I had just had my 31st operation. They fused my left ankle, Heather. And I was lying in the bed, and my 24-year-old son, Nathan, came and said, Bill, what are you going to do when you finally get better? What are you going to do when you get out of this bed? I looked at him and said, Nate, when I get better, I'm never going to sit down again. This is the best time of year, NBA playoff basketball. I don't get to do enough games, so I said, I'm just going to go do as many games as possible. So we got the Love It Live Tour chronicled daily on NBA.com. 30 cities, 30 days. It has been incredible. I'm following Hubie and Dick around.
All right, Bill, certainly no rest for the next couple of months. Best of luck to you. Enjoy the game.
The bus rolls on. Take care.
Have some fun.
Space is limited these days.
You know, Hubie, I got the impression that Heather was wearing the same shirt that Bill Walton had on. Am I right?
There you go. Absolutely.
Boy, am I observant. Boy, Bill Walton playing for that 86 championship team, one of the best. Iverson with a runner off the rim, and the rebound by Pierce. And here is a 3-on-2 break. Walker, and they had both Snow and Harpring there to block him. Foul on one of them.
It's very rough out on the floor right now. And it started about 8 minutes ago. The referees have got to really stay on top of this. There's so much at stake. It's very heated. There's a lot of banging going on away from the ball. And you can see on that last shot at the opposite end of the floor, we had Coleman land 10 feet outside of the lane. Took a blow, no call. So you got to really watch this right now.
And we expect more of the same coming up next on TNT. Game 2 between Portland and Los Angeles. And the 2 free throws break a 12-0 Philadelphia run. Still no field goals this quarter for Walker or Pierce, but they're getting it from the line. And here is Allen Iverson from the corner, and the rebound by Walker. And the Sixer lead is 2, and the Celtics looking to come back, tied with a 2, can take the lead with a 3. And they like the threes, as we know. Under 5.5 remaining in the fourth. The T can't handle the pass. Kicked around into the hands of Philadelphia.
I just can't believe that they don't have some kind of continuity to take advantage of Walker and Pierce. We're not seeing any of the screen and roll, screen and spotters that have been open for them.
And Iverson gets it out to Matt Harpring, fighting his way in. Good tough basket by Harpring.
Very tough is right. That was a big-time score. Right now, you want to see Boston go back to what was good for you. Kenny Anderson coming off screen and roll. Pierce coming off the screen and roll. Or screen and spot up.
Here's Pierce. What a move! What a basket! That was one of the spectacular baskets tonight by Pierce.
That's what you expect. You expect your primetime guys to stand up and get it done. And Paul Pierce right now.
We need to just go at each other all the time. And, you know, when I was Seattle, that's what I said. And, you know, I have shown what I can do against him. I play great defense against the guy.
Boy, that's heady stuff. If you're cocky and you can back it up, it's okay. Kobe does it. And I'll tell you, you don't want to go on record as saying you can stop those kind of guys.
Well, it's very difficult to stop the best all-around guy in the league. Off the dribble, posting up, shooting threes, coming off the screens, and it's a nightmare. Now, if you feel that way and you think you can do it, that's great. But then again, you have to be able to shoulder it if he burns you big time.
And the offensive foul. And it'll be on Mutombo as he hit the defensive player in the face. That's 5 on Mutombo, who has scored 8 points. But really has not been assertive on either end.
Well, the next foul by the Celtics, Philly's in the penalty. Philly only has 2 team fouls.
Coleman leading Walker. Walker going around Coleman. Does not get the lay-in, and the loose ball, Coleman has it. Here's Iverson pushing it up against Kenny Anderson. Pierce also there with the fall-away hit. Very tough to stop this guy.
Very tough. He took 1-on-2. He challenged the 2 defenders.
27 for Iverson and a 4-point Philadelphia lead. Under 4 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Pierce spinning his way in. He's been quiet here in the corner, but from the corner, Tony McKee in double figures with 10.
Now, Aaron McKee has been matched up, with Pierce, and it's been very tough for him to get the shot up over the top.
Pierce, 16 points. Not much in the quarter. He's not shot well tonight. Iverson going to Coleman. Coleman has shot well tonight. He has 13 points on 6 of 7 from the field.
Coleman has stepped up big here tonight. He's played a very good defensive game in the second half, especially on Walker, and he's done an excellent job on the board.
13. That's an excellent job. You're right. And there is the shot by Battie again. Tony Battie with 12 points in the game on 5 for 5 shooting. Battie averaging 7 a game on the regular year.
It's nice because a quiet guy is stepping up and doing it here. He has been the outlet on all kinds of traps.
Iverson, short, Pierce. Celtics not looking to push it up, trailing by 2, nearly 2.5 to go, 81-79. Sixers looking to steal one in Boston and reclaim home court. Pierce hits.
They've been waiting for that.
Paul Pierce with his first field goal in the 4th quarter ties it at 81.
The defense on the key matchups have been outstanding in this quarter. Big time pressure from now to the end.
Allen Iverson handling the ball. The key has been a big one tonight. Coleman working his way in for the short jumper. McCarty, the rebound. Boston looking for the lead.
Good shot. That was a good shot. That's one of Derek's pet moves. Take you in, reverse you, shoot up over the top. He had a good look.
Under 2 minutes remaining. And 10 on the shot clock. And the foul, it is a non-shooting foul. It is the 3rd team foul against the 76ers. So they will take it out of bounds, but the next foul will result in a penalty.
First foul inside of the 2 minutes.
McCarty will inbound. He's got Anderson, Pierce, Walker, and Tony Battie. Tied at 81. This is a classic between these teams. Pierce with a 3.
Oh, yes.
And the first 3-pointer in the 4th quarter by the Boston Celtics. 3-point lead. And a timeout called by the...
Good look at the basket. You just prep. You're going to run one of your pet moves. Big thing right now for Boston. No silly foul. Force them to make the shot up over the top of the defense. You must hold Philly to 1 shot, but look long on any misses. Look long for the break.
Aaron McKee inbounds to Eric Snow.
And they just brought Iverson off the baseline on the stagger. He was not open.
McKee loses it out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Celtics with 13 on the shot clock for Philadelphia.
Terrific defense, a little gamble there, but a good deflection.
And a loose ball foul has been called on Derek Coleman.
Wow. Wow.
Sixers can't believe it. They were scrambling for the loose ball out of bounds, and they called it on Coleman. And the Celtics will shoot.
Yeah, keep an eye here. Now, right now, you're going to see McCarty long arm, knocks it down. Now, right there, that definitely was not involved in that play. It had to be off the ball.
Yeah. So McCarty on the line for the first time tonight. And the Celtics trying to now take a 5-point lead.
Remember, Philly only has 1 full and 120 remaining.
9-point run by the Celtics. They're up by 5. Under a minute and a half to go.
You don't need a 3. The main thing for Philly right now is to get a good score. That's the key. Get a good score.
Iverson going back to Coleman for 3. And McCarty grabbing the rebound for the Celtics. And the foul against the 76ers. And the crowd can smell it with 1:09 to go.
Every time you see that situation, it happens so many times. You're down 5, you go for the 3, you miss the 3, and you foul immediately. Now the team walks down the floor, and they have a chance to take the lead to 6 or to 7. Whereas if you stay inside, you use your power game, you go to the basket, you have a potential chance of the score, but you also have a better chance of being fouled and cutting down the lead. It's philosophy.
Lakers and Trailblazers coming up next on TNT. And how exciting have these playoffs been? Last night we were in Detroit for an exciting game with the Pistons taking a 2-0 lead. Celtics trying to do it tonight. McCarty can only make 1 of 2, and a timeout called by Philadelphia, trailing by 6 with 1:08 remaining.
Just score quickly, not necessarily a 3, because you're going to have a number of exchanges.
Iverson with 27 leads the 76ers. Walker 24, Pierce 21. 45. They're right at that 48-point total that the two of them get.
Right now, the referees are discussing the fact that there's 23 seconds on the shot clock. The reason being because the shot was missed and the ball was tossed.
Winding down to a minute. Here's Iverson trying to draw the foul and does.
Smart basket. See, now you're playing good clock management when you do that. Now you're putting Iverson on the line. Now remember, tonight he has already missed 4 foul shots. He's 4 for 8 from the line. But we know the pass. He's a prime-time guy over 80%. Got to make him that.
Last year's MVP. In fact, the 76ers had a host of award winners. McKee was the best 6th man a year ago. Mutombo, the defensive player of the year. So on and so forth. Sixers just trying to hang in with a different cast. Trouble finding continuity and chemistry this year. Coleman will stay in the game, and Mutombo will go out. So Coleman, McKee, Iverson, Speedy Claxton, who's been effective tonight, and Snow.
Yeah, Larry's going to a defensive lineup with McKee at the power forward. You have Coleman matching up, and then you have McKee, Iverson, Claxton, and Snow. So they're coming down court now, and you've got to be ready for pressure.
Iverson gets them both.
Here they come.
4-point game.
They're at 100 right now.
Anderson defended by Claxton.
Big thing for Philly. No silly fouls. Want to get them to shoot, hold them to 1 shot, and get the rebound.
Eric Strickland with Anderson, Walker, Pierce, and McCarty. 8 on the shot clock. Anderson now to Walker. Walker working against Claxton, and the whistle, and the charging foul called against Antoine Walker in a big break for Philadelphia.
Jackie Neese has it. As Walker came around, he realized the clock was down, and they get him for the push-off right there.
And Harpring's going to come in.
That's right. That was a good call by Jackie Neese. Larry Brown playing the clock here right now. Remember, Philadelphia's at a disadvantage. They only have 1 20-second timeout. Boston has 2 fulls and a 20. Big thing right now with 30-some-odd seconds. Once again, you don't need a 3. The key is to get a good shot.
Here's Iverson driving off the glass. Doesn't go. Nearly tipped in by Harpring, who commits the foul as Pierce gets the rebound.
Yeah, Harpring very upset with himself.
Very nearly was able to tip it in on Iverson's miss. And nearly a half a minute to go. Time running out for the 76ers.
Yeah, Allen got a good look here. He had a good look. He tried to play the glass. Now watch Harpring. See, Harpring almost gets that down. But then give Pierce, what did we tell you about Pierce? Plays both ends of the floor. Right there, key rebound.
And a great performance in the All-Star game with 19.7 rebounds. A true All-Star, 7 of 9 from the line tonight. And one more. And in fact, it is a two-possession game right now. One more free throw. It'll be a 2 3-point play game, but you don't always need the 3 right away.
That's right. Let's see what happens here. See what the strategy. 3, and you get it, and there's still like 30 seconds on the clock. You still can play for 1 possession, and then if you hold them, you still would have 1 possession to get another 3.
Claxton spinning his way in to the corner. Here's Coleman for 3. And a wild shot. Pierce getting the rebound, fouled. And 2 more free throws, and he can just about close the door on this one as Kenny Anderson leads the cheers. The Boston Celtics coming back with a 10-0 run late in the 4th quarter when they trail by 4, on the verge of making it 2-0 in this series.
Now that last play was all by design. They gave you movement, and then they gave you Claxton off the dribble into the lane and kicking out to that corner. Both corners have been open all night on the kickouts.
Pierce on the line, and tonight's Gatorade player of the game is, you're looking at him, Paul Pierce. 23 points, 10 rebounds, now 24, 3 assists, and he played with foul trouble from the 2nd quarter on.
Well, he definitely was out of sync, Vic, in the 2nd and 3rd quarters, and even at the beginning of the 4th. But once this team was down big, and it looked like, hey, Philly looked like they might take command, the 2 shots, the deep 2, and then the deep 3, with the clock going down on both possessions.
And here is Snow off the mark, getting the rebound, and the ball tipped. Mutombo puts it through with a little more than 15 seconds to go. So Walker and Pierce, to this point, 49 points. And that kept up with their season average of 48. They had 51 in game 1. So that great 1-2 punch we pointed out at the stop at the start of the game, other than Kobe and Shaq, they're the best 1-2 prolific scoring punch in the league.
And tonight they got a lot of help. In the first half, they got the help from Williams. In the second half, they got it from Kenny Anderson when Kenny ran that 10 points in the 3rd quarter. Now in this 4th quarter, you got to give McCarty a lot of help also, because he came in and made 3 key foul shots for them.
Kenny Anderson with the free throw, so the crowd loving it here at the Fleet Center. 6 players in double figures for the Boston Celtics tonight, and led by Paul Pierce with 25. 93-85, 76ers will be heading home, needing 3 games. 3 wins, 2 at home and 1 here. A tall order as the game ends